Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Group Action Roll. I'm your host, Ghost. It's great to see you all. I'm here with a lovely group of brand new friends. We're going to play some Daggerheart very soon. Tonight, we're going to do a session 0. We're going to talk about our characters, talk about the adventure, just generally, you know, shoot the breeze and get to know one another. I'm going to get a chance for everyone to go around the circle, introduce yourselves, tell us where we can find you on socials, promote anything you have to promote. Let's start with you, Steve.
Hey, what's up? It's me, it's Steve, aka Batchild. Promote, geez, I don't even know. I am the co-founder of Indie Rift, which is a podcasting network and website dedicated to indie game development and indie games, including tabletop games. We have 3 podcasts: the Indie Rift podcast, news, reviews, and previews. We have Dev Dive, a conversational podcast where we interview game developers, video game developers. And I started earlier this year Dev Dive Side Table, which is interviews with tabletop game creators, board games, TTRPGs, all that fun stuff. So look for that on your favorite site there. And I make D&D, TTRPG little videos here and there. DM advice and player advice and all kinds of stuff on TikTok at BatchildDND.
Outstanding. Thank you. Ray, what's going on?
Hello, friends. I'm Ray. I don't have anywhere near as many social accolades as my friend here, but I have a budding new YouTube channel called The New GM, where I'm working on my experiences of becoming a new game master, which is kind of a new thing in my life, really. So I'm going to try to document some of that and what I learned over there. And then alternatively, if you like listening to me swear while I fail at video games, you can catch me as Retrovirus 2K on Twitch, which is a little stagnant right now, but I'm going to dust that off at some Battlefield 6 soon. Over.
Very nice. Swearing while failing at video games speaks to me on a very deep level, so I will definitely be tuning into that. Going on down to Knox.
My name's Knox. I don't have anything that I do. I don't stream. I don't do anything else but go to work and go home. And I have a little tiki-taki, Captain Skittles on TikTok, and that's just about it.
A little tiki-taki. I like it. And Maeve, what's going on?
Hello, my name's Maeve. I sometimes do my YouTube and as Princess Fairy, but not as much. But yeah, that's pretty much it.
All right, cool. As you might know if you're tuning in, I'm Pete. People call me Ghost. I'm here on Group Action Roll on Twitch, Group Action Roll on YouTube, and Ghostlight over on YouTube. You can check it out. Links are in the various places for me and all of my new friends. Check the description. You can get to them. At the top of this, I want to say a huge thank you to our sponsors, Hero Forge, World Anvil, and Nat 20 Dicery. You can also check out the links in the descriptions for to support the stream, to get some cool discounts on some of that stuff and a few other things. Whoa! We lost Knox. It always happens.
Man down.
It always happens to someone early in the stream.
We have a piper down. I repeat, a piper is down.
And to Valhalla I go.
It's actually it's a nice little nod to the other. I think not a lot of Daggerheart session 0s, but this is the second, and so far we're 2 of 2 for players going absolutely sideways. So, that works.
I'm glad to continue the tradition.
You got to keep it alive.
Oh yeah.
All right, so just so that people watching at home know, this is not necessarily going to be like a traditional session 0. We did some preliminary work over on Discord. You can check that out by going to a link that I can put somewhere if I can find the right thing. It probably won't work. We'll give it a shot. So we go over to Discord. We have some conversations about. Did it work?
Yeah,
Cool.
it's all up in there.
I didn't expect that to actually work. So we start with the idea of what's going on with the story. We talk about character ideas. Nothing was off the table. We even allowing playtest material for this adventure, for all the adventures, because that's just the fun of it, right? You all did all kinds of great work already, developed some characters. A lot of you have like really great backstories that we're going through. So tonight we have a little bit of an agenda. We have somewhat limited time, although I think we're going to have plenty to get through all of the things that we're going to discuss. First thing we're going to do is we're going to say hello to everybody, which we just did. We're going to go through an overview of the session, sort of what, in my mind, the session is going to look like. We're going to go through our cat's discussion. That's concepts, aim, tone, and subject. We're going to talk about our safety tools, and then we're going to begin to like world build and character tie-in together. This is going to be the point where we can start looking at those connections that you might have with other characters. We're going to discuss a little bit about any daggerheart mechanics that you need any clarification on, and then we'll discuss a little bit more how we're going to handle combat. And then we'll answer any questions, and then we'll call it from there. A few things at the top I'd like to tell people. I run this currently. Currently, I've been through a few iterations of what I do. We're doing what I would like to think is an at-home feel. You are responsible for your character sheet. You are responsible for your dice. The minis that we use are virtual. They're just there as a point of reference. We'll get Hero Forge minis on a Tailspire tabletop, and then I'll control them. You tell me what you want to do, very much as if it was just like a at-home mini that we're moving around. But you can roll real dice if you want. You can roll digital dice if you want, and then you manage your character sheet in Demiplane. Demiplane doesn't work like some of you might be familiar with, or paper, even better.
Hey, he's sharpening pencils over there. He's ready for school.
I'm so ready.
Love that. Just so you know, it doesn't work like D&D Beyond, where there's not a lot of like things working together as far as being in a group and having your roles linked and stuff. So I'll tell you to roll, you roll, and you let me know what it says. Honor system. Okay.
I'm going to crit on every single roll, and you're just gonna have to believe me.
Why would I not? That seems pretty. Listen, I don't know if you watch the stream normally, but
Yeah, right.
There's a lot of crit.
There we go again.
There's a lot.
Seemed to be a lot of crits.
I'm like, come on, people. I gotta start. I don't know. I do have a plan for that one coming up. We'll see that later. All right. Anyone have any questions as we begin?
No, sir.
I'm good.
Great. So for this session 0, I had you all fill out a sign-up sheet. Thank you all for doing that. I don't know if that seems kind of strange or not, but it makes sense. Going through our sign-up sheet, I asked you a couple of questions, like things that you yourself expect and like in games, and just to kind of get an idea of what you might be looking for in a game. I say this a little bit like I'm stalling because I'm trying to get the sheet up. There we go. Awesome. Going through
Vamp, baby.
Going through asking like what kind of characters you most enjoy, and what tones are you most drawn to. The top choices for tones were heroic, tragic, and mysterious. I think we can hopefully accommodate. I mean, tragedy can strike at any time, right?
I feel like you're currently covering that pretty well with the main show.
Things I know, like, I don't know. I still owe them a character death. Things felt like
Next crit, somebody died.
the next person who crits. I put it out that someone was gonna die, and then we had some people that had to cancel, so I felt bad. So then I'm like, okay, next time. But enough about that. Getting into the concept of it, so that's sort of my idea. We're doing this around Halloween, so I'd like it to be as spooky as these games can get, suspenseful, deal with some of that content. Not necessarily a lot of gore and body horror per se, more eerie, spooky suspense. Kind of what I'm aiming. So, talking about that, knowing what's on my mind, I wanted to ask you about what are some of your your lines and your veils, things that you don't want to see, aren't interested in, things that you prefer that we just gloss over. We're always going to gloss over anything sexual in nature. It hasn't ever come up in any of my games yet, but romance is not off the table. That said, we'll only allow it to go so far before we fade to black, and then I make you run a ability to see how it goes.
Roll for cold shower.
Yeah, right.
I'll be right back. Give me 1 second.
Sure. Steve, do you have any lines and veils that you want to bring up?
I really don't have a ton, and I really don't think anything will come up in a one shot. I typically stay away from children being in hostage type situations or abduction situations. When the monsters capture the kids, whatever, that's fine. But I tend to stay away from grown adults that that Law and Order SVU type stuff. I try and stay away from that basically.
Sure.
But other than that, I'm pretty flexible. I don't there's no descriptors or anything like that or that I'm not comfortable with. If there's a bit, I go for the bit. Just keep that in mind.
Okay. We'll generally, I mean, some of the things that you all listed were SA. Obviously, we get into that. UCL, everything is off the table. But anything else, Ray? Do you have anything?
I mean, honestly, kind of the same for me. I don't have any real concerns for the most part. I think, having watched you and the show for a bit now, I can't imagine there being too many issues. So, I'm good.
Okay. Maeve?
I'm the same. I'm I mentioned nothing really. So.
Okay. Yeah, I'll try to keep to the same ideas as we do for the main series. And there are, I want to say, there's a lot of things that going on with children. That sounds weird to say it that way. There's a lot of themes that involve children with some of the player characters built into their backstory that I'm playing with a little bit. None of it, I don't, and you let me know, I don't think any of it is pushing it too far. We had an implied tragedy with a kid, but we didn't, that never actually came. Nothing ever was shown.
Yeah, I think for me it's more the bad guy. Whoa. The bad guy, captures two kids and kills them in front of the heroes.
Captain, say a word.
It sounds like we're in a thunderstorm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're in a
That's sad.
You're in a biplane right now. Oh, there we go.
It's like there's a fan directly on his microphone.
It was his wires or something before. No, it's still. There we go.
There we go.
There we go.
I lost your video, but
Yeah,
I'll
now you're golden.
add you.
Yes.
I am so sorry about that.
Okay. No worries.
All good.
But that's essentially what I
Okay.
that kind of stuff, or I'm gonna throw the kid in the fire. What? Okay.
Yeah, it's a bit much. I got you. Nox, we're talking lines and veils. Hard passes, anything that is off the table. We talked about SA stuff in general, stuff involving children, that sort of thing.
Yeah, I don't have very many kind of along similar lines. SA that kind of covers a lot of my hard lines.
Yeah, it's pretty. I think it's pretty common among the people who tend to play with. That makes sense. Just realized I'm threatening my main cast and that.
Gonna be fine, everybody.
All
It's
around. I
gonna
wonder
be
who
fine.
that was. Backstories with Kid Tragedy.
Mm-hmm.
Olive's in the chat. Solid's in the chat. Hello, everybody. Welcome in.
Thanks for hanging out.
Thanks for hanging out.
Big fan. Good job, everybody.
So, when it comes to this adventure, we've kind of gotten into the concept of the story a little bit, but I've told you some things. I think I've told you probably most of it without giving away too much, but I wanted to read you this little blurb to kind of give you a sense of the tone of the story. That's okay. All right. So as you know, this is called the Watchfire of Kharvos Keep. Now the seas of Corvalis are restless. Dark clouds gather above the western coast, their bellies heavy with storm and omen alike. The old ways say that when the tides turn black and the wind howls from the west, because the dead remember something the living have forgotten. And lately there's been much to remember. Across the continent of Valdrenin, the world cracks beneath unseen weight. The shattered, these twisted remnants of mortal souls, stalk the roads and ruin the fields. Great powers of the realm wage desperate wars against something they cannot name. And in the midst of this unraveling age, an ancient light has returned to the map. Far off the Corvalian coast, beyond cliffs that spear into the sea, lies the rocky island of Dunhollow, a place long abandoned to storm and salt. Perched atop its jagged crown stands Kharvos Keep, a fortress built in another age, when humanity feared the tides as much as the gods. In those days, the Watchfire of Kharvos Keep burned bright across the northern waters, a beacon that warned of invasion, of calamity, of things that crept from the sea. But that fire was snuffed out centuries ago, when the garrison fell, and its commander's name was buried in disgrace. Until now. In the nights past, sailors returned from the Varkos Isles claimed to see it, this ancient watchfire burning again through the fog. Not gold, not orange, but white and purple together, flickering like a wound torn open in the sky. The last time this fire burned, Corvalis went to war. King Thorncrest cannot ignore the omen. His armies are stretched thin across the mainland, his knights scattered, holding back the shattered. And so, in the shadow of his throne, the king offers a bargain to those with nothing left to lose. You, each of you, sit chained within the damp stone of the Draymore dungeons. Criminals, traitors, outcasts, thieves, whatever you were, it no longer matters. The king's decree names you provisional soldiers to the Golden Legion, a condemned company whose valor will be measured in blood and obedience. Your commander, Garen Holtval, has been given one order: sail to Dunhollow, investigate the Watchfire, and return with the truth. In return, the king offers what no cell can hold: your freedom. And so, beneath thunder and rain, a ship sets out from the Corvalian coast. The winds taste of salt and rust. The waves rise higher with every mile, as if the sea itself resents your intrusion. Above the bow, lightning cracks, and for just a heartbeat, it illuminates the island ahead. A spine of stone clawing its way from the black water, found by a keep that has no right to stand, its ancient flame burning once more. The villagers call it cursed, the priests call it impossible, but tonight as the storm closes in, the Watchfire of Kharvos Keep burns again, and something within is calling you home. So we're going full Arendor Suicide Squad with this one. Seemed to be the best way to get a bunch of... None of you are playing humans. So it seemed to be the best way.
Yeah.
Team Monkey Fight Squad over here.
Right? It seemed to be the best way to get a bunch of non-humans into a Golden Legion, into a place that nobody wants to go. Makes a lot of sense.
Sure.
So we've gone through our safety tools. We've gone through our world building. We're moving on to our world building. We're talking a little bit about where your characters come from, what their backstories are. Let's start with Steve. Steve, I know that you got a pretty extensive backstory.
Sure.
Do you want to share yours? Anything you don't want the other characters to know, you don't have to share, but please.
I think I could just do like a crash course. I'm playing Crix. Crix is a fairy standing at just over 2 feet tall, electric blue skin with those like crystalline shards coming out of his elbows, his knees, and he's got these little crystals that make a mohawk. A little bit ago, he was captured by some giants, and much like children do when they capture an ant or a flying ant or a bumblebee, they played with him and removed his wings, removed his limbs, and essentially tortured him, left him for dead as a plaything that they were no longer interested in until he was come up upon by some a clank band, and they decided to fashion him new limbs out of their mechanical bits and bobs. So now he is half fairy, half clank, still wingless, but trying to find his way in a world that does not accept him as a clank or as a fairy. A fairy without flight and a loss for the joy of life, having it been literally ripped away from him, is no fairy at all, and he doesn't quite have the mechanical nature, the mechanical mind of a true clank. He has too much emotion, so he doesn't necessarily fit in too much with that. And I think he wound up in jail for essentially taking his quest to find out more about these giants, where they are, who they are, and got a lot of really important people in danger in doing so. And so he was captured, and in his cell, because he's so small, he actually has one manacle that is around his waist, and the chains bolted to the ground where in the center of his room. And that's where he spent some time until being called upon to go on this mission to gain his freedom.
Awesome. Outstanding. There's a lot there that I love. A few things that we haven't gotten into so much in the story that this has spanned over a few one shots and then this main series, but we haven't really had all of our fairies have been from what we refer to as the garden, this other realm that's not quite the Feywild, right? But we haven't had anyone that's been born, as far as player characters are concerned, that we haven't explored the idea of those fairies living in the mortal realm and having families and settling down and stuff. So I love that. I also love the clanks that found him, that fixed him as well. I think I told you that there's one of the Council of Seven was Baylor's what was it? Baylor Stonebreaker was his name, who was the brother of the king over in Belgar, the Dwarven Empire. He was a big artificer who has created some of the clanks that have shown up, or forged, who have shown up in different iterations. And that coming from Lunesford, like I felt like that was a good fit coming right out, and then finding those clanks that would be capable of giving him those augments. Pretty cool. And I think the only thing that we had to discuss a little bit was the timeline, but I mean that's
Yeah, however you want to fit it in is totally up to you. I don't know, like I'm not married to too much of the history of the world, you know. I just making this quirky little guy that fits in your whatever you're creating is perfectly fine with me.
Yeah.
I also I didn't mention, but I'm playing a ranger, a wayfinder ranger.
I was just gonna say, quirky with that kind of backstory. That was I was misty-eyed listening to that. Holy shit!
Yeah, the poor guy. He's a poor guy. He's just a little guy.
Just a little guy that just had so much.
Just a little guy. I'm just jealous that I didn't come up with Cyborg Fairy as a.
God damn!
I just love the way they do mixed ancestries in this game. Like just picking one, you know, the two attributes that you get from each makes it so simple, and you can really make really creative things. And I was thinking, like, if I go with fairy and I pick fly, like that's the only thing I get from that ancestry, right? So I was like, well, what if his wings are ripped off and the clan can't figure out how to give him wings? So right away it was like, okay, boom, I have one attribute from the clank that, you know, is simple, and the fairy, it just worked out perfectly.
That's an amazing backstory. Well done.
There's a nice psychology behind it too, where like what happens to a being that's, you know, it's part of its identity is the ability to fly.
This is a one shot, right?
You only get one shot at this backstory.
What was the character name again?
It's Kryx. Kryxx. His friends call him Kryxy.
Okay, awesome. So we'll go through everyone's character's backstory, and then we'll talk about connections after. If anyone hears anything that they like cling to on someone else's backstory and they want to dive deeper, look at your character sheets. They have those connection questions. You can sort of pick and choose whom you want to ask those questions to. And then while you guys are doing this, I'm going to start taking bets as to who's going to dive first in the chat. Just ignore me. Ray, do you want to
go? You called me there?
Yeah. Do you want to go next?
Of course, I start choking like as soon as you go to me. Yeah, so let's see here. Where did my character sheet go? Okay, so what I was working on is I straight up started with like Gladiator as the concept here, as the movie reference, and then kind of worked backwards from that, and then even just stuck with the name. So I created Maximus, who is a freeborn Simia stalwart guardian. So basically a full-on tank. Yeah. I have a tendency to play tanks in basically everything I do, and then I try to break that habit, and then I get my characters killed because I just run around trying to be a tank. So that's so I'm just going to stick with my instincts here. Now the background I was kind of starting with, I didn't write anything super elaborate out, but what I was kind of starting from is that anger and rage are kind of primary character traits for Maximus, and as such, his background is as a commander in maybe this king's armies, and was given bad intel, if you will, or a bad set of orders, really, and that resulted in leading 250 of his troops into death. And where I'm kind of adapting to this storyline, originally it was going to be straight up Gladiator for that, right? But where I'm going now is that he basically came back, as one of the handful that survived, and again, anger and rage, he killed his commanding officer, that sent him into this kind of dumb, face first attack, right? And of course that stripped him of his rank and got him thrown in jail, more or less, is where I'm going now.
Love it. And so like typically like the Samaya and the humans or any of the beastkin that live up in Ragos, like the northwestern part of the continent, are usually at odds with the humans. But one thing that we've established with Oleg's character is this idea of these mercenaries, like them hiring these full-on, companies of beastkin to fight against their own kind. So I like the idea that maybe like they get folded into the overall military structure a little more. So when you start saying maybe he was a general, maybe he was pretty high up, I certainly could see there being a place where maybe he did get some notoriety as this like leader amongst that mercenary group that was hired by Corvalis, and then he just maybe got sick of taking orders, or felt like maybe he was more important than, maybe he thought the humans valued him more than they actually did, and then he takes out his commander and ends up in jail. I like that a lot.
Yeah, really, I'm like, again, the anger and rage aspect of it, I guess, is like where I'm thinking, like, to your point, right? Like if the humans look at the beastkin as disposable troops, right? And again, we're sent face first into a losing proposition. Maybe that's what caused the snap and retaliation.
I believe it. Outstanding. All right. Nox, you want to go next? I'm just going in like circle
Sure.
on the screen here.
I had two different things that I wanted to do. A very young person and then a very old person. So I am a Wildburn Fawn. My character's name is Sarath. She, they. For my younger character, she was raised in the UFC, the unfortunate foster children's fighting ring. Or maybe an older fawn that is one last ride kind of thinking. So I'm gonna throw it over to you guys. What do you think it would be more interesting with your characters?
Boy, a child fighting ring, I think, falls squarely in the "why are we doing this to children" camp. So maybe we go with unless of course it's just what kids do. Like I had a little fighting group with my friends. We used to wrestle each other in the backyard.
That's supposed to talk about Fight Club.
Yeah, I mean that's what caused all that.
Just to clarify,
Gotcha. I think I missed. I think I missed you saying that.
Yes.
It was kind of the one thing we all agreed on.
You just no children in peril kind of thing, and you're like, it was a child fighting ring.
Just to clarify, would this have been a child fighting ring that they came up in, and now they are no longer a child and they're continuing that fighting spirit, or were you looking at like very young, still in that fighting?
I think I was looking to where y'all had said, no, don't do this. So I'm going to go with the older woman that's, she's very old. I just needed one last thrill.
One last thrill.
I just need my husband's died, my kids are gone.
One last job.
I used to be just like you younglings.
So we have this elderly fawn woman.
Mm-hmm.
What got her into the Corvalis prison?
Yes. I'm excited.
I think she may have tried to rob some sort of like nobleman or something, or got caught up in like some sort of thieves guild.
She got caught betting on the children fighting ring.
She got caught fixing fights in the
laying a
children's
wager.
Oh, I just bet on the winner.
Poisoned a lord with a mint candy when he was allergic to mint.
Yeah. The king choked in a hard candy.
So, yeah, I would love to have some feedback with that. This is session 0. Nothing's canon until we
Right.
put it on paper. But yeah, I mean that was just kind of like what I was thinking. She's like she's the last of her line. Her children are dead. Her grandchildren are dead. And she's like, basically I have nothing left. Might as well seek one last thrill.
Sure. Now, just for the world itself, like the main story is dealing with this like usurper god coming in, it was revealed last episode, I think. Pretty sure that this god was like sort of stealing souls. They were creating these shattered beings that are sort of these shambling zombie-like statuesque stone things, and converting their souls to his side to gain power. So there's a lot of death going on. So something to consider. It could have been a while ago that your character lost all their people. It could have been very recent. We just had like the main city just up and get destroyed in the first episode. The other thing is like we haven't had a fawn yet, I don't think. No. So one thing that we were toying with the new Daggerheart, because this started as a D&D world, but these new Daggerheart ancestries, like having them, a lot of them that are like anthropomorphic animals, they have them come from this garden, this Feywild type of garden area that we call. But like at any point, they could have come from this area at any point, and then once they came into this realm, they sort of became mortal, like gained that mortal soul, and they start to age accordingly, and they settle down. So,
I could make a suggestion that could tie her into Crix a little bit if word got out to someone else that came from a similar place that Crix came from, it wouldn't be out of the realm of the possibility of perhaps this fawn trying to spring Crix to get him the help and get him back home, essentially. So it could be a thing where finding out about Crix being locked up and having this situation, your like one last job was to get him out, and you got caught, so now you have a new one last job. Where it's like, kind of thing. I don't know. That could tie us together where it'll give Crix a little, because I don't like to have like the loner backstory of like I don't know anyone. So that could be like a little way to tie the two together for like a little bit, where he has this like affection for someone who's trying to help him, but also is resistant to the help because he feels he deserves his life that he has now.
You could even be that like I know that Crix was living in Lunesra for a while, but you could have come from the same community. Maybe there's a lot of garden folk who sort of still keep together in this strange realm, and maybe that's where you met, and then as Crix went away, you got word of that and decided to...
I could be kind of like that's my found family. Like all of my family is gone. The person that I know from my past is now in jeopardy. Now I need to go get him out, and very much underqualified to do this, and I got caught.
And then on top of all that, the king was like, "You."
You wanted him so bad, you could have him, and now he's your responsibility.
Love that.
Oh, come here, Crix, my little girl, my little guy.
And that'll give Crix a layer of guilt that will play real well. Of you tried to save him, and now you're basically marching to your death. So great, this is all wonderful for Crixie.
Maybe she feels so strongly about the charge.
Yeah,
She feels
don't
so
even worry
strongly.
about me. It's fine. I've
Should be
lived my life.
that aunt or uncle that everybody has. That's like just your parents' friend.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's going to be very flippant about it's fine. Don't worry about it. And then you have this character that's like, why are you doing this? Why are you doing this? She's like, I'm
Mhm.
old. I think of it like the Chernobyl, the older Japanese people that would go and live and clean out like the radioactive sites, and they were like, we are doing this for the young people. We don't care about our life because our life is almost up. So we rescue the younger children so that they can have a life.
I like that. I like
Love
that
it.
a lot. All right, we're already getting connections. I love this. Moving on over to Maeve.
So I'm playing Star Moon Knight. She's a reborn warlock, and how she got to the warlock is she a fairy kind of found her and in the forest after something happened, and asked her to. She was very sick, and so they made a deal, and then for a while. For a while, her skin kind of started. She's an elf. Her skin started kind of changing colors, like to blue, and her right eye is like pink/purple blue scar. And how she got probably arrested is she was trying to find something and probably ended up in the wrong area at the wrong time.
Okay, and I know that we said that like the humans of Corvalis are already pretty like intolerant of other not just other ancestries but just outsiders in general. And I think now that all of this is going on in the world, they're really this like pulling their troops back and just sort of isolating in Draymore is like the capital of their kingdom. So I think like if Star came in and did anything that they viewed as maybe not being acceptable or suspicious, I think they would probably nab her up and put her in jail. So if she was like poking around the wrong region or was acting suspicious, they might just like label her a spy and throw her in prisons. I like that. A couple of things that I have for yours is you have her in a town called Crystal Spark.
Yes.
As you were kind of going through your backstory, I sort of envisioned this area. And you said she's elf, right? Did I have this?
Yeah, she's an elf.
She is an elf. Okay. Sort of to the northeastern section of the map. If you go to where did I move it to? groupactionroll.com. You can go to the lore tab and find the map for this world. The current iteration of the map. It's sort of the area of the map that's devoted to the elves, their floating island of Thalandor. To the northeast of that area is the dwarven mountains, and you start as you push into that area, it gets to be a lot cooler and a lot more glacial plain type areas. There are a few towns and stuff that are already there that are not quite in the mountains yet. So I feel like if we could picture somewhere in that vicinity, just northeast of there, just before the mountains, I feel like that would be a good spot for Crystal Spark. It's not too far from the Elven main community, their capital, but still like it's a good happy medium between. It still get pretty cool, and there's a lot of like the area is just ripe with lore about like the god of Arcana and even now the god of Death just had a link to that area. So there's a lot of potential for sort of a mystical kind of an area already. So I think that would be great.
Muted. What was the character name again?
Star Moon Knight.
Oh, I had Moon Shadow. I'm sorry.
Is that Star Base Moon Knight?
Yes, Star, and then Midnight's her last name, but she usually just says Star.
Gotcha.
I'm sorry. What race was she?
Elf.
Elf. Elf warlock.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, got it.
Okay. So that's everyone's backstories. Now, have you all had a chance to look at your character sheets and kind of go over those connection questions?
Yeah, for the most part.
I time got away from me, and I haven't.
Oh, it's okay. You can just like I think it is under. And I don't know about the paper copy, but under details on Demiplane. I'm sure it's probably under details on the paper copy too somewhere. I don't know what page it's on. You'll see pronouns, clothes are like, eyes blue. Below all that, there's some background questions, and below that are connection questions. Now, these are questions that you can ask other players to deepen your connection with one another in the party. So as you look through those questions, just take a minute, read through them, and then think of who you can ask. And you can do that. You can do that right here. If it's something that you don't want revealed to the rest of the group, feel free to message each other on Discord.
Those connection questions are blank.
Oh.
On my paper, so I don't know what those connection questions and background questions are.
No problem. Hold on, I can pull them up for you. Oh,
And are these questions you put in there, or are they like just random? Because
no, they generate based on your ancestry and your.
Oh, interesting.
Class that
Okay,
you
cool.
choose.
Yeah.
I'm trying to find it.
So if you go to
I had it
the,
earlier.
actually, I don't know what your source was going to be there, Ghost, but the like character sheet PDFs that they have on the site all have them in there for like the class-based character sheets.
Perfect. I was just gonna look them up in the book, but that's probably better.
Yeah, I'll drop that in Discord.
While you're looking that up, I just want to give a whole ass shout out to Ray for helping me build my character and understand the rules of this game. That you're amazing, man. Thank you so much.
Oh yeah, appreciate it. I actually probably should have made more noise about it and got everybody together maybe a little bit, but but yeah,
There's still time. There's still time. Ray, you have videos over on YouTube for at the new GM, right?
Yeah, at the new GM channel, I have all of 2 videos over there so far. Well, 2 and a short now. But the one is like how to play all of Daggerheart for free. Because one of the really cool things they did is like the system reference document for Daggerheart is the entirety of the rules. There's nothing held back. But what I was referencing here is their character sheets are their like guided character sheets. So they actually have, like a ranger character sheet versus like just a generic one, right? So all of those have like the background questions in there, the connection questions.
Mm-hmm. I just got the generic one here.
Yeah.
Oh, you have your character sheet, Wildborn Fawn Brawler, right?
Yes, sir.
Oh, I have it. I have the digital copy here. So,
did you print from Demiplane? Is that what you did, Cap?
I tried to print, but it all came out blank.
No.
For whatever reason, I even downloaded and it still came out blank. I tried 4 different times.
I'll throw the questions in our Whisper channel on Discord if that's helpful at all.
Yeah, super helpful. Thank you so much.
Yeah, no problem. Anyone want to ask some questions? Anyone have any ideas?
Clarifying questions for us. So where have we been imprisoned, right? Like it's not Lunestra, it's
called Draymore. So it's the kingdom of Corvalis, which is the human kingdom, and it's to the west of the map. If you have the map up, I don't,
Which I thought I did.
but I will.
I can't do that because I'm on my phone.
Lore map.
There it is, world map. And over to the west, you see the Human Kingdom. One of those blue, one of those white markers is Draymore. That's the capital. And then the other one is Kharvos Keep.
Got
We
it.
haven't explored the Human Kingdom, so there's not much there. We only really make towns and settlements of any sort when people create characters or we visit them, so, as needed.
Gotcha.
So feel free to create stuff
Stuff and or things.
and or things. Try not avoid things, but definitely stuff is on the table.
No nonsense.
Oh, Ray, you were talking about level 3 or 5, like equipment.
Oh, the tiers of equipment. Yeah.
Yeah, tiers of equipment. I had maybe we can talk about this later, but I had questions about that. Like what kind of tier 5 equipment that we can have with the DM's approval.
Ghost said go crazy. That's what he told me.
Yeah,
you
no.
got-
So the idea that we're gonna, you're in prison, so you don't have any equipment. But when
Yeah.
you are,
I don't need any from me. I got these hands.
he got me all
baby.
right.
excited,
You got
and then he
your-
took it away.
you got your very large grandma bag.
Quack, quack.
You're gonna be given equipment. It could be that you're giving your equipment back. It could be you're being armed before you're sent off to do this mission. So as far as the narrative is concerned, you'll be given something. So it can literally be anything that you want, as long as it's tier 3, not tier 5, because tier 5 is like, but tier 3 stuff because you're level 5, so you'll be on par with the main story, the main series.
I will leave that up to you. Like if there's like a bonus quarterstaff or like anything like that. I'm not going to request anything because I don't know what to request.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah, in the-
yeah.
In the like tiers of armor stuff, like Ghost mentioned, the for us at 5, that's tier 3. The tiers just cover ranges of levels, and so the first level for tier 3 is 5. And then within that, if you look in Demiplane, or I think also in the SRD probably, there's a bunch of just improved armor in there, which is like, it's just better. It's like, better armor class for like, or armor period in this game for that level, but it's nothing like, there's no like real magical properties to it or something like that. Like,
Right. And I do know I have most with a monk is like you're mostly unarmored, and most of my good shit is with not having armor, not having a weapon, with all the domain
I'm just
cards.
giggling at the old lady monk
Mhm.
just roundhousing people out in the field.
And I can like jump
Stop
and do
it.
stuff as a fun, which is really cool.
She's a very spry old lady.
She's a very spry old lady.
Those vitamins. Something else I want to point out is that like the game in general is very fiction first, is what they always say. But
Mhm.
for me specifically, like I'm more interested in the story that we all tell together. I don't feel so bogged down by the mechanics of it. So
Gotcha.
as you're looking to do things, if you're trying to do something in a way that's not necessarily rules as written, just float it, and more times than not I'll allow it unless it's like completely unheard of. Just like your experiences, right? Like you develop these experiences, and then you look for opportunities to use them in the world. Like if you can even remotely justify it to me, I'll say, yeah, that's fine. So just keep that in mind as you're
I
developing.
have
the
some
story.
creative ones in there. I don't know if you looked at them. but
Yeah, no, I love the ones that are like super broad. That when you,
I
like,
have
this
a
is what I
couple.
meant.
I have a couple of, I mean, they're mostly, so I building the character, I took a couple of extra experiences. I think I have 4, which I just like doing that. But just to give an example, one of them is I used to fly, so it's like, when you would do something that a flying creature might normally do, but they can't. But I used to fly, so like I was implying like we could do a fastball special. I used to fly, like we could do that. Together we topple giants. It's just like he knows how to work with a group to topple giants. The tiny are mighty, so I picture that as like if I'm fighting something that's more than 2 sizes bigger than me, like my courage will be a little bit bigger, and then of course I have giant's courage. So just everything's wrapped around the giants that tortured him and ripped his arms and wings off.
Love it.
The connection questions and background questions are like things that like I never know what to put there because I don't know like how much of the world we'd be building in that, but as far as the equipment goes, I was actually, now that I'm hearing you say that, I went with the glowing rings because I wanted him to have fey power that comes through the robotic limbs, like almost like a power glove.
Mm-hmm.
And then I had the short bow because he's still a ranger. Do you think it would be possible that instead of doing advanced glow rings, which was the advanced weapon, the tier 3 weapon that I was going to choose, instead of doing that, could I do a normal glow rings, but make my normal short bow magical damage instead of physical?
Yeah, sure.
Like him channeling the energy through the arrow.
You want to keep your tier 1 glow rings, but then you want to use like a short staff at something
or a short bow. Short bow. So I could, because he's like I picture him like shooting these like energy bolts.
So this is the 1980s D&D cartoon Ranger Hank.
Yeah. Or like like
which is my favorite part of that show.
But yeah,
not any of you have seen it.
I have actually. It's
been a minute.
It's a little rough around the edges, but like I was picturing something like that, so I don't have to be like an actual melee fighter, but like kind of like do a trade off from there.
So would you be editing your current short bow, or would you be adding something better?
I mean, I would probably just say that instead of physical, it's magic damage. If that, or if you want, I could drop the advanced glow rings and do an advanced short bow and change the damage to magical instead of physical.
The only thing I would be concerned about is that you're getting that damage buff from the tier 3 weapon. So as long as you feel like it's adequate, then I'm fine with it.
The buff is
it's not necessarily too big. Like looking at the difference of your glow rings, it's D10 plus 6. Oh, D10 plus 2. Sorry, to D10 plus 8.
Yeah. Well, that's a big.
Yeah,
it's a big difference. Is there an energy ranged weapon?
That's
because I was looking through and I was trying to find something, but like that's essentially what I thought of him as like a little blaster. But
if we can't find something,
I could look through here.
Something in the equipment list, I'm perfectly okay with homebrewing something that would be on par with sort of what you're talking about, so that you're delivering that tier 3 damage.
Sure.
In the flavor that you want for your character.
Maybe it could be a Daggerheart tag team thing where our warlock friend empowers your arrow for a shot or 2 or something.
Stitching weapons. When your character is in, you can mark or stress to quick switching weapons. It's stitching. Dyslexia man strikes again. Here I come to Dave the Say.
Got a sewing machine of doom.
There's a gilded bow. Doesn't do magic damage. think.
The glow rings are very close. They're not melee, so that technically is a ranged weapon. So that could just be
All right. I mean, yeah,
that it's a short ranged attack. I think I'm okay with that.
if
Tier
you
1.
want to,
Tier 3.
I mean, we can talk about it more if you'd like. If you want to homebrew something that is that, because you're limiting your range with the advanced glow rings. You're to very close.
Yeah.
But we'll find something that gets you that far range, that does the damage that you should be doing.
Maybe we could do glow rings, but we'll call it far range, and we'll lower the damage die from a 10 to an 8, but keep the +8 or something like that, or like make it like a D10 +6 or something.
Yeah. So a lot of these other bows
do a trade off.
These are doing D6 plus, like the gilded bow is D6 +7. Oh, this is magic actually. I'm sorry. Gilded bow is D6 +7 magic. Far.
Ooh. Okay.
When you roll a 1 on damage die, it deals 6 damage instead.
I don't see the gilded bow. Where is that?
I'm just looking at the equipment list in
Oh, here we
heavy
go.
plane. There is a.
Oh, I see it. Sorry.
There's a spike bow as well, but it does physical, same damage but physical.
Oh, that could work. I could just flavor the gilded bow as like these magical like gauntlets or something.
All right.
Just flavor it a little differently. Yeah, I'll do that instead. All right, I'll fix that.
All right, and then for your questions, we were talking about that briefly. I had them up. I do like the idea that you've all been in prison for one reason or another, and you've been there for maybe a couple of minutes, some longer than others, and then they brought you into holding together, awaiting this commander who's gonna take charge of your little
Gen Pop.
Yeah, your little suicide squad. You're gonna get a guy who's gonna be in charge of you all. So while you're sitting there, maybe you have some of these connections forming, like a friendly competition that you might have with someone. These are actually I don't know how many of you have played like a prolonged Daggerheart story so far. Some of these seem small, but then do randomly reoccur. I don't know. It is a fun little thing to have, so I urge you to do give them some consideration.
So the way it's laid out is a terrible creature hurt your community. So are these questions that I'm going to ask someone else and put their answer in?
Those are your background questions. The next one down is connections.
Okay, what friendly competition do we have?
Yeah.
Okay, so I would be asking that of one of the other players.
Yep.
Okay.
Actually, to that point, then, Maeve, what is the vibe? What is the general vibe of your warlock character? Creepy and dangerous, like kooky and weird.
She looks a little mysterious. It's kind of hard to tell with her.
Does she give an evil vibe or just a?
Not evil, but people might think she's evil, kind of thing, but she's not.
You like
And
it
I
generally
will-
misunderstood, you'd say, or maybe
Yeah, like
looks can be
misunderstood.
deceiving.
Mm-hmm.
Mischievous.
I will ask you specifically then one of my questions, which is, what lie have you told me about yourself that I absolutely believe? And you should actually maybe just send it to me in Discord.
There we go.
I'll have to get to my Discord, to be pretty
I
honest.
think later, not now, not now.
Yeah.
Just write it down for now.
Yeah, I'll send some of these questions are good. I'll send them privately as
down.
well.
Yeah, for sure.
I
I think me and Crix are pretty much connected, and so I want to talk. I want to talk to you on Discord
Sure.
about our kind of relationship.
absolutely.
I also have one question here. My unarmed strike with all of my domain cards is 3d10 plus 3d6 physical damage.
Good Lord.
And Ghost, you should have access to my character sheet, and I just want to make sure that I am reading this correctly, because that is a lot of dice.
I am reading 3d10 plus 3d6 damage as well. Let me look at what you have equipped.
Yeah, maybe have different stuff. I don't know.
I don't have my quarterstaff equipped, so I have an evasion of 12 and an armor of 3. If I did have my quarterstaff equipped, my evasion would be 11.
Gilded bow.
I mean, for your
my domain cards should.
Oh, that's one of the, what do they call it? One of the beta things.
Mm-hmm.
What do they call that? The void.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Out of the void.
I am the weapon gives you use the trait of your choice to deal d8 plus d6 physical damage using your proficiency, where we are level 5, so that makes sense to me.
The one of my domain cards, that d8 becomes a d10.
Okay. Creepers. Yep, there it is. Powerhouse.
For our friends at home, we keep referring to a monk, but it is a void character in Daggerheart from the void, the beta stuff. It's called the Brawler.
Mm-hmm.
It's really a monk. We don't know it.
It's I know.
Yeah, it's Brawler Juggernaut. I did Brawler Juggernaut.
Nice.
Everyone knows what kind of fighter we got going on here. It ain't no monk. Yeah.
But you know what it is?
Ain't no Slim Jim.
Ain't no, sir. You call me a fighter? Oh my God, I'm so lovely.
There's gonna be 3d10 on this hand and 3d6 in this hand. Oh yeah.
That is insane. I am reading that the same, and then you can also mark a stress to target 2 creatures with your melee strike.
Yeah, and
Sweet
I can
nectar.
also do combo strikes as well.
Oh wow!
Stress point.
I think I figured out what our friendly competition is.
Listen, I'm new. I just read shit.
I'm just gonna make a note to add more enemies. Hold on.
Damage threshold increase.
5
Plus 10 evasion to everything.
This one shot was over in an hour and a half. It was the
30,
quickest
40,
one I've ever
50,
made.
60, 70, 19, 18, 19.
On that
They all
note,
changed their
I-
characters to monks.
5,
We're all going to be brawlers.
30. That's 31 damage that I just rolled.
Okay, well, the third damage threshold, I mean, that
Imagine
is
the
severe
crit.
damage to me, actually. That is
Yeah.
a severe
One
against me.
thing we do use the optional rule for massive damage here,
Holy monkey.
so that will probably come into play, and I'll just thank you for pointing that out, and I'll just plan around it.
Yeah, I wanted to make sure, because I was reading that right. I wrote it down. Unarmed strike, 3d10 plus 3d6. And I'm
Damn,
like,
that's a lot.
oh no.
I mean, we are like mid-level characters.
Yeah.
right? So we
Mhm.
get to tier 3, level 5. It only goes up to tier 5. So currently,
That's why I'm like, I don't really need equipment. I just got these hands.
I better
Get these hands.
I better be able to do more than one attack a turn. This is I gotta keep up with my 1d6.
Also, like, there's no in Daggerheart, there's no rolling for initiative.
Correct.
So it's just like, hey, I want to do this, and then you just kind of like, okay, I'm done. I'm gonna let somebody else do something next.
Yeah, and we can talk about. I know that we're getting close to time for you, Steve.
Yeah. I have played before. I'm familiar with that stuff. If you want to go over that when I bounce, you're more than welcome to do that.
Yeah.
Is there anything that you need from me before I do head off to my?
I'm just interested to see if anyone else has any questions that they want to ask you.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Sure. Yeah.
I'm just gonna say, let's talk about our backstories together. And
Yeah, just hit me up on Discord. I'll be there for sure. And if
Yeah,
anybody wants to do that, like we could also have questions, that we could tie in just on the trip from, I assume that this is going to start with us already on the boat based on the setup.
Yeah, the way that it's going to go is we are going to throw back to you all in that jail cell together.
Oh, okay, cool.
Before
Cool.
Garen Holtvale comes and gets you all, just so that you all have a brief meeting in a tavern opportunity to do a little RP, and then we're going to flash back to you all being on the boat rolling up to the shores of
Saving Private
Dunhollow,
Ryan
so
style.
Very much so.
So
Yeah, I like it.
Nice.
All right, thank you very much. Can't wait to play. And I'm sad that this is a one-shot character.
Doesn't have to be.
This all happens within within the world that we've built. This character lives in this world, assuming that they live. And series 2, I'm starting series 2 of this in April. So if anyone's interested and you have a character or you want a new character, everyone's welcome to
If
apply.
Crix survives, Crix shall endure.
Just hide behind the old lady, you'll be fine.
yeah, just hide behind me. I'll take care of you.
All right, thank you guys. Appreciate it.
All right, take care, Steve.
Enjoy.
See ya.
Okay. I didn't realize how much background noise. I think I have them
Yeah.
noise gated on the stream though. Where were we? Okay. So does anyone else have any questions that they want to ask?
I just want to know a little bit more about. I think I went to the bathroom for Star Moon Knight. Just a little bit more about her backstory, if I can.
So her backstory, she was born in a small community, and something really bad kind of happened over there. And for a while, she was helping her town, and then she got very, very sick, and then met her patron. And yeah, and she made a deal with the patron. She had to do something for the patron, but while she was trying to do that, she ended up kind of in the wrong area, kind of thing. And people didn't understand.
And
what
so
she looks like.
how did she end up in jail?
So she kind of ended up looking for something and kind of like trespass kind of situation.
Gotcha.
And one thing we didn't talk about was for Star's patron. What are you thinking for that individual? Are you thinking
So
there's a lot of gods in the world now, but there's a lot of opportunities for lesser gods.
I don't have a name for the patron, but I chose a fae, but it's a shadow fae. That's why she's kind of a little mysterious.
Okay. The way that we run like archfays and stuff are pretty much we give them like a lesser god status. We have a couple, like we have Solaris as like the god of sun, and we have a new one that's Thralia as the goddess of the rain. We build them as they need to come into the world. So if you want to build one that's specific, like a shadow archfey, we can absolutely do that. Just let me know what you want their name to be, and we'll make them canon.
Yes. I've been trying to make her name.
Archfey God Dave.
Dave, the god of the archfey. And currently in world, which is it's pretty common in this thing. But all elves came from this Feywild, the garden that we have. Many, like a long time ago, They chose to leave, and then they agreed to not go back in. They recently did because their capital got attacked a couple episodes ago. But they are definitely spread out throughout the world and have different towns and stuff. So all of it makes a lot of sense to me. But let me know about your your patron when you have them figured out, and I'll add them to our list of gods.
Okay.
They keep popping up. We're actually in the main series next Thursday. We're actually going into the garden for the first time, so there's all kinds of shenanigans happening. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I have another background question I'll throw out. Because this one actually seems total. What is Old Lady Fawn Monk? What's her name?
Saroth.
Ooh.
If anybody from my D&D campaign, if you're watching, you know who Saroth is.
The infamous old lady.
What? How am I spelling that?
Seroth.
OTH. Got it. Okay.
That was,
and then, or go ahead.
that was when I first started doing one-shots with my group. That was my assassin CR9 that they just freaking just demolished at level like 4 level 3 characters.
Reborn as an Old Lady Fawn Monk.
Into an Old Lady Fawn Monk.
Love it.
So given your old lady grandma vibe here, I think this question is actually perfect. What small gift did you give me that you notice I always carry with me?
Ooh, that's good. I think Saroth always has like a little. She always keeps a little rock in her pocket. Like it's not necessarily a gemstone, but it's like a smoothed over a small rock that she's like, ooh, that looks nice. I'm gonna give it to my friend over here. And that's a reflection of me because I always love giving rocks to people.
You know what's funny? Personally, one of my now 20-year-old kids, in my backpack, I have this is a true story. In my work travel the world backpack, I have a small smoothed over rock that my daughter gave me when she was little. And it's gone from every time I get a new backpack, I move the rock and all the other stuff into the new backpack.
Yeah, she's old, but she's young at heart.
Missed opportunity for that Werther's original, though.
Totally.
You know what? Fuck you, Ghost. It's it's not a small rock. You know what it is? It's a salt Laffy Taffy.
Maximus is like, I don't like candy. But he carries it around with him everywhere.
Yeah.
Because it melted in your pocket and it's stuck there.
It's been there for 10 years.
I do love Werther's original, though.
Delicious.
My airplane candy.
Yeah, that's your salt taffy. And then it gives you like 10 temporary hit points in D&D.
You like that. Any other questions? Any other connections?
I have something for like a maximum for one of what he would for this question for my character.
Yeah.
I once did something very foolish and you never let me live it down.
Oh, that's interesting.
That's a good one.
That's good.
I was worried about this, that somebody would hit me one of these questions and I would just freeze and I'd have an answer.
What could you do embarrassing in prison that you would never let?
I know, that's what I was thinking about. I'm thinking like you befriended a rat, tried to eat a rat. Something involving a rat. That's where I'm going. Read it again.
It says, I once did something very foolish and you never let me live it down.
Yeah, I really want to go with the. I think I'm gonna say, you know, we're you know, everybody's starving and malnourished and poorly fed in this jail. And yeah, instead of eating the rat that wandered in, you made a friend out of it.
That's very cute. That's so goddamn cute.
Now whether or not the rat is now a canon pet for you is the question.
I
It
feel
has
like
to
it
be.
is.
Yeah, it has to be. It has to be.
There you go. So the Maximus is now just going to make snide comments about the pet rat.
Let us know the pet rat's name when you get a minute. We'll,
Okay.
canon.
The pet rat's name should be Minimus.
Perfect.
So you should name it whatever you want, but that popped in my head and I thought it was pretty funny.
I thought Maximus too, but Minimus is so much
Minimus.
better.
Beautiful.
Oh, that's fun.
Lovely. That's so lovely.
Do we have any other connection questions that you want?
Not at the moment.
Okay.
You want a
and
pet rat? Like, you can say no to the pet rat.
You could just
I
eat
don't
it.
mind with that character. That character's mysterious anyway.
I like the idea of like the middle of the adventure. You're down on hit points. All of your party are down in desperate need of help. And the only way you can gain any sort of healing is to eat Minimus.
That's so morbid.
This heart
Minimus the rat.
touching,
Oh no.
horrible Halloween themed snack that you have to rely on for the good of the group. Or if you don't want it, you don't have to have it.
One last mechanical question. Healing.
Mhm.
What kind of healing are we dealing with here? Are there like potions or long rest, short rest? Like,
Yeah, so we can get into we're gonna kind of transition to like general daggerheart questions. So there's a couple different ways that you can heal. You can choose to take rests. You have what they call downtime. You have long rests and short rests. When you do each of or either of those two things, there's only a certain number of things that you can accomplish. If you're looking at, I don't know about the paper version, to be honest with you.
I got it right here.
Here it is. All right, so on this paper, the rests appear. Probably.
Damage and health. Major damage, minor damage, severe damage.
I don't see long rest. I don't see downtime on the. Gotta be here.
On the like generic one?
Yeah. Oh, this is the. I know what it is. Last one. So you have things that you can do. You can mend armor. You can mend yourself. You can prepare. Oops. Prepare to gain a hope. You can prepare with other people to gain project. And then the rules of how much you gain for each change if you're doing a long and short rest. I'm gonna give you guys items leading up to it that you'll acquire from the group as part of your equipment set when you're sent off. You'll get some potions and stuff. Those potions, like everyone starts with a minor potion. A minor potion heals you 1d4. And then you just add it to your sheet accordingly. As I mentioned in the beginning of this, very much at home rules. You manage your own character sheets, either demi-plane or on paper. Add, subtract things as you use them. Totally on the honor system. You can use physical dice. You could roll in demi-plane if you want. Totally up to you on how you wanna roll. I roll all of mine physical dice because We have a dice sponsor, and yeah. So I'll give you a additional equipment to add to your inventories as we go, like pet rat, for example, like things like that. Werther's original, a piece of salt taffy. I'll send you some healing things that you can add as part of your plus up before you leave.
Gotcha.
And then we'll talk about downtime as you were choosing to take it. We can sort of walk through downtime when that happens. If you have the SRD or the book, you can go ahead and look up downtime in advance. If not, I'll just do it anyway. I'll paste that passage in our Discord so that there for that. But I'll walk you through it as we go. I understand that not everyone has played this that much, so we're all sort of learning the.
It is a brand new game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which takes me to the. Do you all understand the damage thresholds and the hit points and all of that?
I think I understand that the HP. I definitely do understand the evasion, the armor, the minor damage, and the major to severe. I understand the stress. I understand the hope. And I think that's a good basis for me to like start off on.
Yeah,
that's the core of it right there, really.
Yeah, and
I do love that they did like evasion and armor are like separate and real things, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think that's super cool.
Yeah, it's pretty neat, and it gives it a whole new dynamic, especially in these one shots when you may not be taking as many rests. You're like just in the thick of it, and kind of you go through the next door and you deal with the next danger. But I thought what I was gonna say. Oh, so when it comes to you're rolling, you roll your 2d12s. You add them together, and then whichever one was higher, you say with hope, with fear. If it's with hope, you gain a hope. If it's with fear, I gain a fear. I keep my fear up here. You can see this on. I know that you all are watching me on. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I keep my fear up here, and I click it down and add it up as we go. I try to always have it on screen, no matter what platform we're on, so that you can see it. And if you can't see it at any point, or if you need it to be darker or something, just let me know. I can change the color of the ghosts. Damage thresholds. When I roll damage, so when somebody attacks you, if it's an adversary is attacking you, I'll roll a d20 as my die, plus any modifiers to go against your evasion. If I beat your evasion, I'll roll damage. I'll give you a number. You have to see if it is less than your first threshold, it's minor, so you lose 1 hit point. If it's more than your first threshold, it's a major, 2 hit points. If it's more than your second threshold, it's severe damage, 3 points. And then if it is double your second threshold, it's massive damage. More times than not, it has to do when you're against me, not necessarily when I'm against you. But
when you're rolling 10d10 and 18d6, like Grandma Monk over here,
it's a little more likely. And I'm looking at yours is at 32, and I was like, okay.
Yeah, for Maximus.
Mine's 18.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm looking at Crix actually.
Yeah.
I mean, it's still your second threshold is 18.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, because you're not wearing any armor, right?
Yes.
Yeah, Maximus's severe damage threshold is 36.
Wow.
Do it.
You do some PvP.
So, I'm kind of reckless and stupid with how I play my characters, and so it's really best to just play him as a tank. I'm currently playing a sorcerer in a D&D group who's almost died basically every night that we play.
So, okay, this is like my first ever time trying out Warlock, so we'll see how this goes.
Oh, nice.
I'm playing my paladin, Broken Oath paladin, into Warlock on a Curse of Strahd, and I love Warlock. So much
complicated.
so
least in
much
D&D.
fun. I love it. I love it so much. I get to do so many free things.
Nox, remind me, what was your question earlier before Steve left? Can't think of what it was.
I think you
I got
answered
nothing.
it. I think it was HP.
Okay.
So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 HP. Yeah, but I think you answered it in your explanation in it, and then I'll go back and rewatch this and get it down pat.
All right, great. And again, as we go, I'll talk everyone through anything that comes up. It sounds like Steve and Ray have played it a bunch of times too, so we can all sort of put our heads together and come up with the right answer.
I'm actually just a sad nerd who's read the book front to back like more than once.
That was my whole thing. It's like, I read it once, I can make some videos about it. Now I have to keep rereading every time. You read it in sections. You read it once, then you read it like in segments.
I've played I've listened to Dungeons and Dragons and like Dimension 20 for the last 4 or 5 years. Ran one shots a whole bunch, and I'm still trying to figure out how to DM.
Well, yeah. I mean, that right there is why I started a whole channel on the subject of like, I really wanted to play, and nobody else, wanted to step up to be the DM. So, damn it, I guess that's my job now, right?
That's me.
Right. It's good to break away and play every now and then, though. It's nice. It's good feeling.
Yeah. But I'm gonna head out.
right.
I'll see you guys when we start on our next play session. Thank
All
you
right.
guys so much for having me.
Yeah, and if you have any questions either on daggerheart mechanic stuff, like myself or Ghost will answer them for sure.
Yeah, I think before you go, this is a good chance probably just to round it out, to wrap it up.
Yeah.
If you have any questions about combat, I have a video on YouTube under Group Action Roll, I think. Ray's got videos. You can always ping me. We already kind of talked about how we were going to run it, similar to the main story of having the minis and stuff. The one thing I wanted to say before you go is for your character art, I do use AI currently I'm using AI to generate it. We're seeking out actual digital artists for our coming series, but we need to gain some revenue.
There needs to be money.
I'm hoping for April that we can swing it for that. So let me know how you want your characters to look. Maeve, I know I have yours already down. And I'll try to match your mini as close as possible, and then I'll make your character cards for the one shot. Day before Halloween, it's gonna be great. Wear costumes if you want. I don't know. I have to dress up for a party next weekend. I don't know what it is yet, so I might have something yet. Maybe. I don't know. We'll see. So I just want to say that thank you all for hanging out, for playing. It's super nice meeting you all and having you come into this world and into this adventure. I'm like super excited for it.
Thank you for having us, man. I think it's going to be so much fun playing with you, and it's such an honor and privilege to have you pull me into your world. Thank you for this opportunity.
I appreciate that, and thank you for telling me that you do 3d10 plus 3d8 damage. I appreciate that heads up. All right,
yeah, I mean, same thing for me. I'm real excited to be here. There goes Captain again. He's down. Super excited to be here. Super excited to learn more GMing skills from you. And actually, I'll hit you with this right now on the air. I would love to actually do more of like an interview with you on as like the next thing on my channel.
Yeah, sure. Let me know. I'm always
to
up
learn
for
some
it.
stuff from you. That'd be
Fuck
awesome.
yeah.
Cool. Yeah, let me know. We'll find a time. I'm down. All right, cool. We'll end it here, and then the next time we're together, we will be watching an old lady beat up on some whatever is in store for you. Everyone's gonna stay on the boat, and it's just gonna be
just punching shit out of things.
You ever seen The Big Hit with Mark Wahlberg, where they're like making coffee in the hallway?
All right,
the
everyone.
monk has entered the room.
that's going to do it for us for tonight. Thank you to everybody. Another big shout out to our sponsors, Nat 20 Dicery, World Anvil, and Hero Forge. You can see the links in the description of this video. Go check them out. Click the link, support the stream. As always, dear travelers, I am Ghost, and we will see you. We'll see you next week, but this group will see you on October 30th.
Indeed.
All right. Take care. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.